Ladies and gentlemen, we are literally minutes away from me uploading that Del Zotto gets traded video. I actually have a pretty good plan here because I think you guys out there can watch that video about Del Zotto getting traded while I make this video right now and while I render, edit, and upload this video. So by the time this video comes out, a lot of people have already seen the Del Zotto video. It's marketing. Absolutely phenomenal. Before we get things underway though, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Ram. I believe it's Ram. Might have been Ran. Not too sure. I believe it's Ram, who I ran into today on campus at BCIT. I was wearing my Besser, North Dakota jersey, and I was walking to the convenience store on campus in the main building in SE2. This fine gentleman was walking across from me the other way, and he kind of stopped me up, and he was like, "Hey, do you have a YouTube channel?" And I was like, yeah, and then we started chatting a little bit. So huge shout out to him. He's the first fan who's actually recognized me in public, which is absolutely crazy. Overall, that's like something I never dreamed would have happened, but I very much appreciate the support, man. The guy says he watches my videos all the time, which makes me feel really good. Overall, it's like, you know, all the hard work is kind of paying off, but I'm very thankful for that. I appreciate it a ton, and hopefully it's not the last time I'm recognized in public. I mean, for sure, I never really expected it to actually happen once, but anything can happen, you know? But overall, though, this video is not really supposed to be about that. This is a video about the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers, who just beat the Canucks. Yeah, the Canucks lost to the Oilers for the first time this season. The previous two times they won 4-2, this time they lost 3-2 in a shootout. And we'll get to that shootout in a little bit, but this game was one of a lot of missed opportunities everywhere. And I mean that sincerely, because guys like Besser, guys like Horvat, guys like Berchi, they were doing really well, and they looked so good. But setting up their men in front, there were so many opportunities that just didn't go through, either because the puck went wide, or because they just couldn't get the right shot out. So many passes in the skates of the players, and a lot of opportunities that could have gone in, just not successful. Horvat could have had like 3 goals in that first period alone, and oh boy, it was kind of frustrating to watch, but let's just go through things here. The first goal of the game is actually one I wanted to talk about. Jujhar Khaira, who's from Surrey. A lot of Vancouver fans are familiar with this guy because he's a hometown project playing for Edmonton. It's a short-handed goal, and this one was the worst short-handed goal I've seen all season. Not from the guy who scored it, but from the team that was getting scored on. Because they just sucked. Vancouver, what are you doing? The Canucks, in their zone, just completely let Khaira walk right in, dipsy-doodle around a few of their guys. Edler tried to walk in there and swat the puck away, but it didn't work. He put himself way out of position there. Half the team was out of the play, and Khaira just comes right in, spins around one guy, gets through another, and then he just shoots it and it goes in. What a terrible goal from the Vancouver Canucks. And I know, Khaira, you got the silky mitts. Good for you, man. But as a Canucks fan watching that, I was so disappointed with that effort. And I think a lot of people were very disappointed with that effort too. But realistically speaking, it was fine because the Vancouver Canucks get on the board just a few minutes later on the same power play. Things start off with Brandon Sutter, who just walks right in and he shoots it. Virtanen is the screen in front, and it's 1-1. And at this point, I'm like, okay, cool, we got it tied up. What's gonna happen next? And Connor McDavid, who the Vancouver Canucks, I'll admit, they actually shut McDavid down very proficiently. Now, I know it wasn't 100% perfect, because he got a goal, and that goal was a typical Connor McDavid goal. He just comes in, he shoots, he scores. It's like that. That's how it works for Connor McDavid. But the rest of the game, the Vancouver Canucks actually did themselves a good job shutting him down and not allowing him to get in all that offense that he's usually known for. But the only other goal of the game comes in the second period, where Marcus Granlund gets himself a really good snipe. He just picks up the puck, he roofs it, the puck was centered, and that's it. That's the entire list of goals, and we didn't get another goal until the shootout, where Alex Chiasson gets himself the only goal of the shootout. Oh boy. Let's actually talk about a few things here. The Edmonton Oilers in the second period, they were amazing. At least for the second half. they just totally shut down the Canucks. And everything was being held in the Canuck zone. That second goal by Marcus Granlund for Vancouver was scored on their 7th shot. And they finished things up, the Vancouver Canucks did, with a total of 22 shots, which is actually better than they were supposed to be. They had a very small amount of shots going throughout this game and only really started picking it up in the overtime and towards the end. But the Vancouver Canucks, in this one, I feel like a lot of their opportunities just went wide or just didn't happen at all because it whiffed off of the stick or the pass was in the skates. A lot of those plays happened tonight, and I think that if the Vancouver Canucks were just a tiny bit more accurate with their passes, we would have had a different score. Like, there were so many chances that the Canucks had that just didn't get on net. And it sucks. It really does, but that's hockey, and we did have ourselves an extra period to play in overtime, which was fantastic, by the way. Fantastic performances by both Koskinen and Markstrom. Markstrom with some fantastic saves on Leon Draisaitl on a breakaway, Sutter with an amazing chance to score on an open net that's blocked by the D-man in front, Koskinen obviously solid in overtime too. But the ultimate kicker comes in the shootout, where the Vancouver Canucks get themselves guys who you'd expect to score, like Marcus Granlund, right? Because he's really the guy that we expect to score. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. Granlund got himself a goal. He's at 7. He's got 2 more goals than Goldolbin, and he honestly had some good looks throughout the game. And in the shootout, he didn't end up scoring. Then the second Vancouver Canucks shooter, Brock Besser, he did the same thing that he was doing all night, shooting the puck wide. And he didn't score here either. Bo Horvat tried to come in, do some fancy moves, he didn't score either, but Jacob Markstrom really showed his worth here on these Edmonton shots, at least the first few ones. Even that McDavid shot. Connor McDavid tried doing the thing where he drags the puck behind him and shoots it far side as he's coming across the slot. And it was so perfectly executed in other games, but it just wasn't executed here because Markstrom had the blocker out and he blocked it. It was a fantastic showcase. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' first shot was amazing because he gets Markstrom all out of position there, and Markstrom lifts up the back of his legs to save it with the outside of his skate. That was incredible. And overall, things were really good for him specifically in the shootout up until, you know, Alex Chiasson comes in and he scores. But Leon Draisaitl also had a really good shot too, and he kind of missed it. He kind of tried getting Markstrom down, Markstrom had the pads on the ice, and it was saved, so that was really good for him. But other than that, Antoine Roussel went in the shootout, which a lot of people weren't really agreeing with on Twitter at least, but Roussel, you gotta give the man credit. He's got a lot of great individual one-on-one stats when it comes with the goalies. Penalty shots and shootouts. Apparently he's really good at those. I know about the penalty shots, I'm not too sure about the shootouts, but he goes here in the shootout, he doesn't score, and Alex Chiasson comes in with some speed, roofs it up in, and it's a goal, and the Vancouver Canucks lose. We're out of the playoffs, boys. If we won this game, we would have had a tie for the last wildcard spot in the West. With this win, though, the Edmonton Oilers are now in that tie. The Vancouver Canucks are 1 point out. Which sucks, but you know what? There are a lot of games left, right? And I don't know if anybody's really aiming for the playoffs all too much anyway. I don't know if I am, to be honest. I'd like a draft pick, but I'd also like to see the team be happy. And I know that something like that would be very happy. Is that a good argument? I mean, I'm not really putting anything on like, oh, the future or whatever. I don't think we can win the cup now, obviously, but it's cool. Whatever happens, it's cool. And this particular game was just a doozy because it was probably Pettersson's last game out. I know that if Pettersson was in here, things probably would have been different. Our power play, honestly, in my opinion, I didn't like the power play. I know we got a goal from Sutter, but like, a lot of our chances on the power play were just not there. And we had the puck swatted away from us, sent down into the zone. We had some troubles breaking in, which was very frustrating. But overall, I think Pettersson coming back is going to be a good thing, right? Right? Not that that's the obvious point here that everybody has been saying for the past 2 weeks, but whatever. We got a game on Friday against Rasmus Dahlin and the Buffalo Sabres. Pettersson better be back by then, right? In the meantime, we do have some good news, and that was Michael Del Zotto getting traded. Ah, man. MDZ, you were a good guy. But a 7th round draft pick. I love it. Hope you guys enjoyed this miniature pleasant at Gaming. And bye.